You guys asked for it. Let's play Hisuian Zoroark. You guys already know what's up. Let's get straight into it. We're gonna quickly go over the deck and then jump into a few games in Pokemon TCG Live. And of course, all the timestamp will be down below. Here's the deck list. I will have it on the description as well if you want to copy and paste it onto Pokemon TCG Live. Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR is your main attacker for this deck. For 2 colorless energy, it does 50 damage for each Pokemon that has damage counters on it, which this deck has a lot of ways to get damage counter on your Pokemon. He also has a VSTAR ability that lets you discard your whole hand and draw 7. And remember, you can only use the VSTAR ability once per game. You pair him up with Terapagos EX and the new Era Zero Stadium card. If you can't get damage on your Pokemon, Terapagos EX is your secondary attacker. Also, for 2 colorless energy, the attack does 30 more damage for each Pokemon on your bench. With a full bench and double turbo energy attached, you can do 220 damage max. Now let's talk a little bit about the supporter Pokemon. You have Dodrio, which is your draw engine and one of your ways to get damage counter on your Pokemon. His ability lets you put 1 damage counter on himself and you get to draw 1 card. Plus, this is also a good 1 price attacker as well, because his attack does 10 damage plus 30 more for each damage counted on him. Next we have Gengar. Your goal is to get him into the discard pile so you can use his ability, which states if he's in the discard pile, you can summon him back onto the bench as long as you put 3 damage counters on him, and that's only once per turn. But you can use multiple Gengars as long as it's in the discard pile. And if you really need to, you can also attack with him, because we are running 1 luminous energy. His attack puts 2 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Not the best attack, but it could come up in certain situations. We have Radiant Charjabug, which is also there to put damage counters on your Pokemon. His ability states whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon V, you put 2 damage counter on that Pokemon. And lastly, another key card to this deck is Damage Pump. You can move up to 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to any other Pokemon in any way you like. This deck can do big damage and has multiple attacking options. If you have any questions and concern about this deck, please let me know in the comments. Alright, let's play some Pokemon.
Hopping into our very first game, our opponent does get to choose the coin flip. And looks like they won the coin flip, so they get to see who goes first. For this deck, we do want to go first because we want to evolve our Zoroark and our Dodrio right away. So we're starting off with the Hisuian Zoroark V. And yes, we're just checking to make sure they are going first. And it's a Raging Bolt, which is weird that they decided to go first because Raging Bolt usually wants to go second. If they went second, they could have probably donked me. But we have a decent hand here. We have Iono, we have Ultra Ball to get out Squawk if really needed. And then we have the double turbo that we can put down as well. They're squawking away 2 Pow Pads and 2 Sadas. That is a very interesting play by them. Especially they're running 2 Pow Pads, which means I don't think they're going to be running a 3rd. So they're only working with 2 Sadas here. I feel like maybe squawking first there was better than hitting the Pokestop, in my opinion, for them. They do run Charms, which is like pretty normal now in Raging Bolt lists. But if we do have a full bench with all of them have damage counters, we're able to knock it out pretty easily. Do they have the energy to attach for turn? They do not have the energy to attach for turn. We top deck a Doduo, not bad. We're gonna Ultra Ball here. Let's see what we have. Squawk. We're gonna save the Iono because we want to use that for sure. Yeah, we do have Squawk. And then I think we should use the Trekking Shoes here just to see if we get like another Pokemon. Area 0, we would definitely take that because if we hit a Terapagos, we'll have a pretty set up board basically. So we Iono here. I didn't want to attach the energy because I am going to attack using Zoroark's first attack that requires no energy. And this is really good here. We can squawk away 2 Gengars and we hit the Terapagos EX. And then we hit the Fan Rotom too. We're just drawing the nuts this game. We have 2 Zoroark just in case he knocks out one. I do have a second one. And then we can get out another Doduo and then have Dodrio set up. We know for sure they won't Iono his next turn because they will have to set up a Sada play. So yeah, I decided to just attack here and retreat to my Fan Rotom, keeping it a 1 prize board, forcing them to either Pokemon Catcher me up or Counter Catcher. No, not Counter Catcher. Prime Catcher. We know they can't boss. They can't boss for Iono. They have to Sada. So they're doing a lot of Raging Bolt things. Drawing with their 2 mass. Conceal cards to get more cards in their hand. Got the Earthen Vessel, getting rid of a Raging Bolt. I think they're definitely digging for a Sada. I don't think they have it in their hand. Or they could be thinning their deck at the moment. Probably get like a Grass and a Fighting or Lightning, whichever one they need. Opponents searching the deck. They get 2 Grass. They already used 1 Overpawn. Okay, they have a third one. So yeah, they're for sure digging for Professor Sada here. They're probably going to get out Fez. Yep. Seems about right. Pretty typical Raging Bolt players. I guess the Era Zero kind of helped Raging Bolt list too, because they get to have way more energy on the board. Yeah, they're definitely searching for Sada. Can they hit? Got another Earthen Vessel. Remember, they only have 2 in the deck because they did squawk away 2 Sadas and 2 Pal Pads. Do they hit the Sada? Like I said, that was a very interesting play. Their first turn, I feel like squawking there was not the right move. Or at least Pokestopping and hitting that 2 Pal Pad feels bad. They only have 16 cards on the deck, and all they did was a Burst Roar. We top deck the Hisuian VSTAR, which is not bad. Then we have our Dodrio. Am I saying that right? So we have a lot of drawing. We have Trekking Shoes. We don't need the Terapagos here. We already have it in play. The research is pretty nice. So we can summon out our Gengar here. So we can use a damage pump before we research the other Gengar. We always want to get rid of Gengar and put it into the discard pile. Distribute the damage. Probably 1 on Squawk and the Fan Rotom. Yes. Because they're going to kill it regardless. Don't matter. We hit the switch and the double turbo, so that's really good. But now we're going to need to start accelerating the damages, and then we can draw 2 from the Dodrio. We need to hit... Yeah, I'm deciding not to use double turbo yet, just in case, because I might have to attack with Terapagos. We have that. So we can bring back another Gengar. That'll be 200 damage. No, 250 minus the 20. I'm deciding if I should research here or use the V-Star's ability for Zoroark, because we can definitely get Gengar out for sure. And then each damage counter on each Pokemon, or each Pokemon that has damage counter is 50 damage minus the energy from the double turbo as well. So we can for sure switch. But we really need... Yeah, we're only doing... Oh, we have enough because we did 30 damage earlier. What am I even talking about, guys? I'm just yapping at the moment. So we knocked it out, doing 280 damage, and not all our Pokemon are damaged as well. So we can even do more damage than that if we really wanted to. Yeah, we hit the damage pump, which is really good. They're most likely going to knock out our Hisuian Zoroark here. We can get rid of the Squawk. We do not need that. And the Fan Rotom as well. Next turn, we can definitely kill their Fez. We have the Prime Catcher in hand. And we know... They might Iono, but if they Iono, they'll be so behind. They need a Sada and start attacking here. Especially when they only have 12 cards in the deck left. I know for a fact he's digging for those last 2 Sada. There's the Sada, so that's 1. I don't even know if you have enough Sada to knock out all my Pokemon, to be honest. We're in pretty good standing here. So he definitely has the energy to knock it out. But then if I kill it next turn, he needs to dig for his other Sada, which he only has 6 cards left in the deck. He's probably going to bring back a bunch of grass energy here to keep drawing with the Teal Mask Overpawn. So he loads up the energy. Potentially, he could attack with Teal Mask. But that just seems a little rough. We're kind of lucky we do have the Era Zero Stadium in our hand, so we can just summon back our Gengars next turn. But we do need to hit the double turbo though. I think for sure next turn we can try to target the Fez, and then we can Iono and try to hit the double turbo. They land the Pokemon catcher. Which Pokemon are they picking up? Okay. Not sure why they chose the Terapagos, because now I don't even need to dig for double turbo energy here. Because I'll just attack again. But I'm still going to Iono him, I think. He has a lot of cards in his hand, and I'm pretty sure his last Sada is in there. So bring his hand down to 4. Make him draw more. And he has a bunch of energy in his hand as well, I believe. And then we will target up the Fez. That way they won't be able to draw as much. So for sure, we're going to draw for turn. We have a switch. Not bad. And we have Area Zero here. Definitely put that down. We don't ever Pokestop, I don't think. Oh, we're missing a Terapagos. So we really need... I think we still have enough to kill the Fezandipiti. I think I'm going to decide just to kill the Raging Bolt. Okay. We're going for the Raging Bolt. Because just in case we don't hit the double turbo on the other one. I should have promoted the other one. So yeah, we do run Night Stretcher. If we can get the Terapagos up, we can start doing more damage. We did hit the double turbo, which is pretty good. And we want to save our last bench space for Terapagos. But we know he's gonna kill this active Zoroark, so we can just bring back a Gengar to knock out the Raging Bolt for sure. So we can put the double turbo on the bench one, and we have another attacker next turn. So we're down to our last 2 prizes. Yeah, he's gonna kill for sure. So if we really need to bring back Terapagos, we can dig for the Night Stretcher next turn. Excuse me, just in case he has like a charm. I wonder what he's gonna do here, because we knocked out 2 Raging Bolts, and I'm pretty sure he Earth and Vessel one earlier. I don't think he Super Rod it back any. So he for sure needs a Night Stretcher and a Sada. But even then, we still kind of have them on checkmate because we have another attacker already set up. Yeah, he has 1, 2, 3 Raging Bolts in the discard pile. They might run 4, but there could be digging for the Night Stretcher here as well. What are they thinking? It is checkmate. Honestly though, he did whiff the turn 2 attack, which is pretty strange for Raging Bolt players. But like I said, he did Pokestop 2 Pow Pads, and then he squawked away that hand, which had 2 Pow Pad and 2 Professor Sada. Yeah, he Nest Ball. That means he's out of Raging Bolt. Oh, it's in his hand. So he's running 4. And then there's his last Sada. 2 cards left in deck. He has the Lightning in his hand. So he's able to knock this out. But I'll just return the KO if he does not have a charm. He's hitting the Iono. In the Pokemon catcher. Is he trying to stall? He did land the Pokemon catcher. Is he going to put up my Gengar and try to stall because it has 2 retreat costs? But we still have... Yeah, he is. So he's definitely stalling. But we do have Hisuian Zoroark's ability. We have not used it yet. The V-Star ability. We just have Research in hand. We just need to hit a Switch or a Double Turbo or our Prime Catcher, because we do have Prime Catcher in deck and we know that. Yeah, I'm Ultra Balling just to check the deck to see what I have. See what are my options. Because we need double turbo, a switch, or a prime catcher. Whatever works. So I'm thinning out my deck. Guaranteeing we hit this. We have so many draw cards that we can use. We have the switch and we have the double turbo. So it don't matter. We just use the switch. And we have just enough to kill the Raging Bolt. And like as you can see, it's doing 280, but with the full bench with the Area 0, it's doing like over 300, which is crazy. Jumping into game number 2, we get to choose the coin flip, which we chose head, and we won. You know what that means? We get to go first instead of second this time. So let's see what our starting hand is. We start with a Zoroark V, which is not bad, and Area 0, and the double turbo. But the 2 switch that we have in our deck is in our hand, which feels kind of bad if we've squawked this hand away, but I think we have to. We'll just Ultra Ball the whatever card we don't use, which is basically the 2 switch are the boss, and then we can squawk. And our opponent is currently waiting and thinking to see what he needs to set up. Our opponent starts with a Fez EX, which is a crazy two prizer for us. For sure put down the stadium and the double turbo. Let's imagine we don't have to squawk here. And I got rid of my research. Yeah, squawk is pretty good. So we have squawk. Squawk away our whole hand. Draw 6 new cards so we can get more Pokemon hopefully setting up. We don't hit. We didn't hit. We kind of want. We could get the Fan Rotom here. I got rid of the V-Star or the V because we can save the V-Star for next turn. I'm not sure what deck we're going against. It might be a dumb idea to get rid of the other V, but I'm just gonna assuming they cannot attack turn 1. Like I said, we want to save 1 bench spot for Terapagos, so our Area 0 stadium can activate. It looks like we're going against Charmander, so we know for sure they can't attack turn 1. They're probably gonna nest ball for Rotom V here so they can draw more cards. I wonder if they can retreat though, because if I attack this 2 prizer, I'll be ahead for sure. I don't think they have the energy. They're gonna try to stall here, and we're out of switch. We squawk away our hosts, all our switches. We still have Prime Catcher, so that's not too bad. I guess that's an interesting play by them. They're trying to stall out so I don't kill the Fez since they can't hit the energy. They got Forest Steel Stone and Red Candy. I wonder if they're going to save that Forest Steel Stone for next turn to get the Zard. Yep, they're just going to instant charge. So we have ways to kind of draw with our Dodrio right here. Dodrio, am I saying that right? I'm saying this wrong probably. Anyways, we draw 1, put 10 damage counters on himself. Let's try for like a switch or a research here. If not, we can Hisuian V-Star's ability. We hit the Terapagos, which is good. And then we can put down all our Pokemon. For sure the V, and then we use our V-Star ability because our hand's kind of bad. And we do want the Gengar in our discard pile. And we hit the Prime Catcher, which is pretty good. We could use Ultra Ball here to get rid of the Gengar. Get rid of the Trekking Shoes, or get rid of the Research. I think I messed up here, low key. I should have kept the Research. Because I got the Gengar from the Ultra Ball because I was gonna research away my hand. Yeah, I think right here, I paused a little bit. I was like, oh, I messed up. That's okay. And hitting that double turbo feels bad. Hitting the Area 0 again feels bad. But we can bring up his Rotom for a 2 prize attack here. And then we can Iono him. We can attack with the Terapagos first because we know for sure it can do 220 right now. And we can save the heavy hitter attacker for their big HP Zard later. And we hit the damage pump too, which is pretty good. We can start spreading damage around. Trekking shoes. We get the boss. We're gonna keep that just in case next turn we want to boss up his Fez if he can't set up a Zard. So we took the first 2 prize, which is pretty good already against Zard. They're gonna start one-shotting us anyways eventually, but as long as we are keeping up with the prize trade, we should be good. Especially we have 2 Zoroark V, or at least 1 V and 1 V-Star. And then we have an Ultra Ball to be able to get another one in play. And we have the double turbo as well. If they decide to target that, of course. But I think they're just going to kill my Terapagos, to be honest. They're using Fez's ability to draw 3 since we knocked out their Pokemon. We know they have Rare Candy in hand. But we did knock out the Forest Seal Stone on their Rotom. Which means they're kind of like 1 card less from their resource. So they get the Zard. Probably put 1 energy on Fez, 1 on Charizard, and then retreat, and then knock out our Terapagos for like, or took 2 prize cards, so that's 240, I believe. Could be wrong. Yeah, it's 240. Ooh, they run Judge, which is a very interesting deck. I forgot to mention they also have a Dreepy in hand, which means they have Dragapult as well. So they have the switch. They decided to keep the fire energy attached to Fez. They could pull off maybe like a cool 100 HP snipe, maybe. But we're gonna put the Zoroark up here. Unfortunately, we do have to get rid of some Pokemon since we got rid of our Terapagos, but we have a Nest Ball already in hand. Got rid of the not the most important ones, so Squawk, Fan Rotom. And I don't know why I got rid of the Zoroark, but I guess we can always bring it back. And we have another one as well. But we can definitely Nest Ball here for Terapagos. Extend our field again. We can Trekking Shoes first to try to see if we can get... Ooh, we got a Nest Ball. We need the Zoroark V here. So we can set up another one just in case we can't attack next turn. And then we can Iono before we start drawing with Fez and Dodrio here. I think I should have Iono first, but I'm digging for a Night Stretcher. But we hit the damage pump, which is not bad. We can use Gengar's ability here to bring it back and then start spreading that damage from the Gengar to our Pokemon before we Iono. We have another Gengar. So I'm just going to summon all the Gengars out. The Gengar gang is here. Use the damage on one of the Gengars and put it on Terapagos and Zoroark. Because regardless, we're going to get knocked out pretty quickly since we're going to knock out this Charizard anyways. So 4 new fresh cards. We got another damage bump, which is good. We can Fez here. We have enough damage, but we can Fez here, get more cards in our hand. Ooh, we could attach this Luminous to our Dodrio if we ever wanted to attack with him. Or the Gengar as well. But I think I'm going to decide to put on the Dodrio. Our hand's pretty good right here. We have Nice Stretcher to bring back the Zoroark V-Star if we need to. Or we have Ultra Ball if it's in the deck. Which I don't think it's in the deck. I believe all 3 of our Zoroark V-Star... One is on the field, of course. The other one is in our discard pile. Or 2 of them are in the discard pile. But our hand is looking really nice. We have Boss Order to bring up the Fez if we need to. Get a 2-prizer. But they're most likely going to try to summon out a Charizard EX here. Or else they're kind of behind. They attached the Luminous onto Dreepy. Do they have like the rare... They're running Chlorez. Very interesting deck that we're playing against. I wonder if they're even like running like the Iron Thorns build. I've been seeing that a lot on Twitter. But yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing here. They're probably gonna try to summon out. Maybe they're summoning out Charizard and Dragapult. They're just that good. Because they already Fez. Oh, they could play... They could use Radiant Charizard, but they just attached their energy that turn already. So I'm slightly confused. They haven't not used a supporter, so they could Iono me here. putting me down at 2 cards, which means I need to either hit a supporter or my Dodrio needs to do some work with those 1 card draw. My opponent's thinking they're retreating. My guess is they're just gonna sacrifice their Radiant Charizard here. Force me to take a 1 prizer. Okay, they're giving up the Pidgey, which is fine. We're gonna just boss up the Fez. There, we're doing 330 damage. And that's GG. They're definitely interesting Zard deck as well. Zard Pult, I would say. But yeah, GG to them. Pretty simple game. Moving into our very last and final game. Our opponent is deciding on the coin flip at the moment. I didn't see what they picked. Oh, they lost, so we get to choose. We're going first, of course. We've been pretty lucky with these coin flips. Let's see what our starting hand is. A Squawk and a Gengar in hand, not bad. And a lot of ways to get Pokemon out. So we have a decent start here. And we're going against Regidrago. This is a pretty decent matchup for us too, I would say. Pretty 50-50. We're going to get a Zoroark here for sure. So that way we can attach a double turbo there. Then we can Ultra Ball away all the cards in our hand besides the other Ultra Ball. Actually, it doesn't even matter because we don't have enough to use a second Ultra Ball. I think we're going to get the Gengar so we can squawk that away. Oh, we can Ultra Ball away the Gengar and the extra card. What am I saying? We get the Fan Rotom. So we have a lot of ways to get out Pokemon now. We can squawk away 0 cards. We get 6 new cards. We have a pretty good start. And we know they can't attack their first turn. So it's okay not to put down a second Hisuian Zoroark. And we have a switch in hand for next turn. And then we have our Doduos. We have drawing supports. Next turn is going to be crazy, but we do need to hit the Terapagos and the Stadium next turn. Which we have ways, for sure. They got the Squawk. Probably Nest Ball for a Teal Massacropon. Probably has energy in hand. So they use Teal Dance ability to draw 1. Will they have a fighting or a fire energy already attached? They have an energy switch. Pretty good start for them. And then they might just squawk away, I'm guessing. Ultra Ball. I think they're probably gonna get out another Regidrago V here. Just in case I'm able to knock out the first V. I have a pretty high chance. They're getting Kyurem, which is... I guess they're going to squawk away the Kyurem. Are they trying to do like a... And they're squawking away Prime Catcher. They're going to try to do like a double Kyurem play on me, I think. Because all my Pokemon have damages on them. And they have Dragapult in their discard pile, as well. But if they don't have the Regidrago, another Regidrago V here, oh, there's the Nest Ball. They might be in trouble. But yeah, they got the Nest Ball. They got the second one. But if we kill the active one, we do kind of reduce their resources a little bit. They have to find more energy switch. They have to attach for turn, all that good stuff. So they kind of reduce their chance of doing the double Kyurem. But we hit the Nest Ball on the top deck. So we got our Terapagos. We can evolve all this. We can switch. Let's just start getting ready to attack. Because we're going to hit that Stadium for sure from this Iono. I was debating if I should Iono or research, but I think I want to Iono and save that damage pump and the boss order. Even though their hand was only at 4 cards, we hit the Stadium. So we can for sure start drawing with Dodrio here, putting more damage. I think we have 2 Gengars in our discard pile. So I need to make sure we have enough damages here to knock out this Regidrago V. So right now with the 2 Dodrio, we have 100 minus 20 from the double turbo. We also need our Hisuian V-Star. I don't need the Fez. We can always get it back with Night Stretcher. And then we can actually just V-Star's ability here to try to get more Pokemon with damage. So I'm doing the Gengars here just to know my bench base. We need to hit the damage pump. So right now we're doing... Now it's at 180. So we put the double turbo on Terapagos here. If we need to, we can always hopefully hit a switch and start attacking with Terapagos instead of Hisuian Zoroark. I decided to put the Zoroark down and put the double turbo on that instead. So let's V-Star. And we need to hit a damage pump to knock this Regidrago V-Star out. Or Regidrago V out. So we did hit the damage pump. Spread that to Squawk for sure. And probably our Fan Rotom. Okay, I put Terapagos. That way the Squawk does not get closer range to cure him. So we killed the Regidrago V, which means they're pretty behind. They need a attach for turn. Wow, we priced 2 Zoroark V-Star. I did not even realize that. But yeah, they need a attach for turn. They need 2 more energy switch. So they got the attach. And they have the Fez. They're probably going to hit it. But the question is, will they have to use their V-Star ability here? So they got more Teal Mass, more energy. Oh, they run a Hoot Hoot. I think most lists now runs a 1-1 line of Hoot Hoot and Noctowl. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at least that's what I see. What are they thinking here? They definitely have Researcher Iono in hand. They have to, right? But they need a lot here. Technically, they Fez first, which means they might not have the Iono, but they could have hit the Iono from the Fez. So they put Jamming Tower down, which is weird. Because they put a lot of Pokemon down, too. So yeah, we got rid of Squawk. That's a 2 prize we don't need. And then the Fan Rotom as well. So yeah, they got rid of the Hoot Hoot. Very interesting play by all the players I'm going against. Like the Squawk is for sure, but why the Hoot Hoot? There's the Iono. So we need to dig for the Hisuian Zoroark, which is on the bottom of our deck now. We have ways to get there for sure. We have Trekking Shoes, we have Iono, we have Research as well. They're doing a lot of Teal Dance to try to draw more cards after that Iono. They need a double switch here and the V-Star. There's the first energy switch. Now, Earthen Vessel. Oh, they run Haxorus. We might be in trouble there. Haxorus just knocks you out. You have a special energy. And our attackers all have special energy. So they hit the V-Star. Do they have the second energy switch though? So they're legacy starring here. So they're for sure getting an energy switch. But then next turn we can just KO their V-Star. And they would have to attack with like Radiant Zard if they're running that. It looks like they got an energy switch and a super rod. Probably gonna rod back like the V and V-Star maybe? Or maybe some energies. Okay. It's very interesting that they had a V-Star there. But I guess they're already behind. They can't be more behind, I would say. But they could have just retreated and just Cleffa there. But they're for sure gonna Haxorus here. But as long as we hit the V-Star and the Stadium, we're going to be able to knock out this Regidrago V-Star pretty easily. If they knock us out, because we have a special energy. Like I said, the V-Star is in the bottom of our deck, so we kind of want to like hit like a nest ball or something. We hit the double turbo. We want to like shuffle our deck kind of. We're hitting all these trekking shoes, so that's not too bad. Gengar, we do not want that. Straight to the discard he goes, and we get another research. So we can, I think we're going to research here to see more cards over the Iono. We hit the Night Stretcher, so that means we can get the Zoroark VSTAR here. And we have the Area 0. So we for sure have enough damage to knock out this Regidrago VSTAR. We get the VSTAR, and then we can set up the other V, so we can start attacking next turn as well. And we have the damage pump, so let's just use the trekking shoes. Research, we should keep this in case we need it next turn. Our deck is pretty thin, so we can get whatever card we need to. Let's bring out our gang of Gengars. The squad's coming back. So right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 6th one. That's gonna be exactly 280. And then we can use Dodrio, start drawing more just to have cards in their hand. I think they only use one Iono so far, so they do have another Iono. It's always nice to just thin out. We have a trekking shoes, which I'm probably gonna save that just in case. We can damage pump here just to put more damage around. We're doing like almost maximum damage. We just need one more Pokemon and he'll be doing maximum damage, which is crazy. Very big numbers for this Pokemon. He's doing 380 right now. Should be 240 without the double turbo. So we did 380 to this Regidrago VSTAR, and honestly, we're at a pretty good spot because we know for sure we have 2 VSTARs in our deck still. We have the double turbo in hand. We also have Terapagos to attack if we really need to. Most of their Pokemon right now, even if they bring out the Regidrago V, we're able to knock it out. A 2-prizer. But we do have to hit the boss. Or the Prime Catcher. I think we still have Prime Catcher in our deck. I didn't check that. So I think their last resort is just to attack with Radiant Charjabug if they do have that. Which I'm guessing they do. That's just their only option. Because I think they only have one energy switch left. Yep, they do have Radiant Zard, but that cannot KO my Zoroark. But, ooh, he's putting a stadium down. Temple of Sinnoh. We get rid of our Gengars. We can always bring those back. Good thing we have Area 0 in our hand. The question is, I don't think he's Ionoing. Does he have boss? I feel like he can boss up the Terapagos here for a 2-prizer. He can't even boss. So we just need to hit a switching option. So I'm putting the Area 0 down. And I don't remember if I have Prime Catcher or boss in deck. So we're just going to search for that right now. Decided not to get that. We got the Gengar instead. Let's do some drawing with the Dodrio. Yeah, I don't want to like... I want to find a card that can like look in my deck. There's only 5 cards left, guys. So I'm evolving this for sure. But I don't think I'm going to attack with the Hisuian Zoroark right here. I do have Luminous Energy, so we can attack with the Dodrio if we really want to. Which I think I will, because I can just... We can bring back the Gengars, and then we can use the damage pump on one of the Gengars to put all the damages onto the Dodrio. And we can switch. We have a switching option. And it does exactly 160, because it will be at 50 damage. 50 times 3 is 150, and then it's a base 10 damage. And we know they don't have really another attacker set up. They could go ahead and kill us with an Ogerpon, but then we'll just knock out their 2-prizer next turn. This is why this deck is so fun. It's like you have so many drawing options. So yeah, we use a damage pump right here. Be at 50 damage, 50 times 3, 15. Plus the 10 base is exactly 16. Able to knock out this Radiant Zard. Putting a 1-prizer down. And then next turn, hopefully he puts up a 2-prizer. If not, 1-prizer or Cleffa, we can still knock that out as well. And there's our prime catcher. So good thing we didn't like try to research and deck out and realize we don't have prime catcher, because we did not check that before this game started. So yeah, they're teal dancing here. I think their last resort is just to attack with teal Mass Ogerpon, but we win regardless because we have the power of all these Gengars in the back row here. But they could put a stadium down. I don't know if we have any stadium left. But even with the stadium, all my Pokemon right now are damaged. So we should be... We have exactly enough to kill all their 2 prizes currently. And we also have a prime catcher. So we just bring up like the Cleffa if we really need to. Yeah, it looks like our opponent's bringing up the Teal Mask Ogerpon. He probably has the Grass Energy in hand. There's not much they could do here. Our board is way too set up. We have 2 Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. We also have Terapagos set up. We have all these Gengars chilling. We have a Prime Catcher in hand. There's not much they could do. They're probably just trying to figure out if there are any other outs they could do. They're nest balling, seeing their deck here. Excuse me. Nothing to grab from the nest ball. I believe that's game. Well, we'll let our opponent think a little bit. Their boss order, they can knock out Hisuian V-Star, but we have double turbo in hand for our other Hisuian V-Star. And then we also have Terapagos EX2. So no matter what they did there, we have attackers. Because we have 2 bench space, which is put down another Terapagos in the Radiant Charjabug. So place it down. We should have enough damage. And we knock it out. And that is GG, guys. Definitely try this deck out if you guys want. There's many lines to this deck, many attacking options. It's pretty fun, and you can do big damage as well.
That is it for this week's video. Let me know what deck I should play next. And in the meantime, you guys can check out my other videos right over here. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Whoosh!